Hello everybody. Well, I'm here today to discuss these JBCs and my concerns. But first, let's talk about some good news. I like talking about good news. I'm getting tired of talking about all the problems and issues. So the good news is that the California governor signed SB 244, which is California's Right to Repair Act, into law. It's not effective until July 1st, 2024, but we can start now requesting schematics and documents from manufacturers. They have until July 1st to comply with producing those documents. If they don't produce them July 1st, then we can take recourse. So I will be discussing the recourse thing here in another subject after the first of the year. I have been speaking with some people that are able to enforce right to repair. So let's talk about these two JBCs. These JBCs are both DDEs. They're DDE-1Cs. We will go into the station info, DDE software version, station info, DDE software version. I'll show you the back of them here. This one here is marked DDU, but it is a model number DDE-1C. Okay, DDE-1C. This unit here is marked DDE, but it is a model DDE-1C. Okay, so they advertise these units to have specific features and functions. Okay, I was reading through wanting to possibly add a fume extractor, and there was some blurb out there that it has to have firmware version above what this unit here had. I don't remember the exact version. So this version here is 888-6448. This version here is 888-6784. I don't know if you can see that. These are real hard screens to capture, especially this one. This one's not too bad. But if you look at their downloads, this is what initially got me concerned, was the DDE-A. The DDE-Bs use a firmware of 888-6448, which is that firmware right there. Okay, so I downloaded the DDE-C, which is for the DDE-1C, and I plugged in the flash drive, and it just locks the unit up. Didn't do anything. So I messaged JBC, initially didn't get an answer. I called them, I got a hold of my local rep. The local rep says, oh, no problem, we'll look into it. They escalated it, and it came back, yeah, we'll just replace the unit. So talking with them a little bit further, I was able to get out of them what the issue was. They're blaming it on the part shortage. That this unit, they used a microcontroller with less flash than this unit. All right, these units were both made in 2022. One was made mid-2022, and this one was made in late 2022. So I got an email response back from them, and here is the email response. I emailed them requesting schematics and documents and asked if they were going to comply with SB 244 and right to repair. So it says, I had to literally call Spain to get this information. So it is Stephen answering to the first question, JBC is following the EU right to repair similar law. Well, I don't believe EU has a right to repair law yet, but I don't follow the EU right to repair laws. I know they have some pending legislation in their parliament, or whatever they use over there, but it says, we already sell parts to be repaired by product owners. Nonetheless, we have already opened a project to review the new law in California to make sure we follow it tightly. So I don't know how tightly they're going to do it. Are they going to do it word for word? Are they going to only do compliance of, yeah, we're only going to do any device manufactured or sold after July 1st, 2021? Or are they just going to say, you know, we're going to totally embrace this and we're going to provide schematics and bills of materials and parts that we have available or whatever for everything, going all the way back. But the main concerning part is it says, during the component shortage, JBC had to manufacture some production batches with a microcontroller with less memory flash. This change obligated us to take less used functionalities such as languages, Chinese, Spanish, etc. Well, I'm going to show you here that they disabled and removed a lot more than that. This change never compromised the quality and precision of our tools. Probably not. I mean, the heat control is probably the same. This change had to be made in order to be able to serve orders for customers that needed tools for their electronic production and avoid making the shortage of products even worse. I hope this information helps. Okay, that is directly from this Joan Villa of JBC in Spain. So that's my main concern. I'm having, as a customer, to call them out on this. Yes, they made it right. They sent me another unit with the proper microcontroller and proper firmware with the options and stuff that I bought the unit to be able to use. So I think JBC needs to make a, I would say, public statement on their website how they're going to resolve this for other customers that possibly might have a unit that don't have these features enabled, have the stripped down flash chip. You know, the local sales rep basically told me that, well, most people don't use the features, and if they do need the features and they have a problem, they can call us and we'll exchange it. That don't fly. You know, they need to take, JBC needs to, for the price you pay, these are the Cadillacs, these are the, you know, Bugattis of soldering stations. I mean, these are the high-end bee's knees, man. You shouldn't have to have issues like this. So, you know, just to prove the date codes on these, and I'll get to the other part when I pop the lids off real quick here, to show you the date codes on some of the parts in there that there are manufactured within about 6 months of each other. You know, we shouldn't have to be doing this. So, and then I'll go through the menus and show you what has been removed. So let me pop this top here. It's simple to get these off. They're now, this is really concerning. My initial reaction was, what the heck, man? Well, not heck, it was way worse words than that. But, you know, my previous experience with JBC was with a hot air station. You know, it's been 20 years, well, more than a decade since I had the issue, but the hot air station, I purchased it in like 2001, 2002, and I started flying airplanes and gave up electronics for about a decade. In 2010, 11 or 12, I don't remember the exact time, when I stopped flying airplanes and started getting back into the electronics, the hot air station had an issue. And that issue was a bad sensor. So I messaged JBC. They basically said, F you, buy another. They wouldn't give me the sensor part number. They wouldn't sell me a sensor. They said it was unavailable. It was discontinued. So I pulled out my old tractor, which was the Hakko 472T, which was in the same location up in the attic. And I used that up until I got my quicks. I flat out refused to pay another $2 grand or $1,500 for a JBC hot air station, especially with the FU buy another, because a simple little sensor went out and they discontinued it. So that was my main concern there. So let's get these lids off. I really want to go deeper into these, but I just ain't got the time right now. And I gotta get this one back off to him for the RMA. So this one here, if you look at the transformer, this is the other issue, is consistency in parts. Generally, if you're buying a Toyota, you might have parts from 10 different manufacturers providing an air cleaner or something. In these stations, you should be getting consistency in parts manufacturing. So this one, I'm going to assume the 2722 was, right here on the transformer, was the 27th week of 2022. Here's the QR code on the heater board. See if I can zoom in on that here for you. And you guys can go ahead and scan that, but I'll put it in the description there. So, and then another part on the transformer, I'm going to say that's 18th week of 2022. Right there. This board number is 00144961. Okay. Now, this unit has a totally different manufacturer of transformer. I'm going to assume that is the 41st week of 2022. I didn't see a date code. Oop, there it is. Right there, 13/2022. This heater board number is the same, 00144961. And here is the QR code for you. I will scan it and give you the data off of it. So I don't think that the firmware is behind here. These screws are on there pretty tight. I don't want to risk stripping them out. You didn't see that. So bear with me, guys. I'm still learning how to do this stuff. So on the video. So here we go. We got those screws right there. They're a bit tight, and I don't want to risk stripping them out. Because I know this one's got to go back. I might do it on mine. But I'd really like to know if the software's up in the head or if it's on the main heater control board. Okay. So this has got me really concerned with JBC. That are they going to take care of this, or publicly, Or are they gonna just leave it the way it is and wait for a customer to complain? I know it would cost them a lot of money to, you know, pretty much put a public statement or recall out. Oop. But we'll see what happens. All right, let's see if I can get this into focus this time. So far, I am really impressed with the thermal recovery of the JBC compared to the Hakko FM202. I've only used it a few hours, which would be this one. I haven't really done anything with that one yet. But now when this one boots, it boots, shows the firmware. I don't know if you can see that. And it's up. This one, when it boots, it has a little line. It boots, it shows the firmware. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this camera down here a little bit so maybe we can get in here better. So now I'm going to go through the menus one by one and show you what is disabled. I'm going to have to adjust this with a zoom. There we go. I think we can see the screens on that one. So the beeper on this one is quieter than this one. This has a little clearer screen than this one. And that was another question I asked JBC is, can we buy these screens? Because LCD screens fail, and they generally fail after a couple of years. So what JBC's got a 2-3 year warranty. That's right about the time when screens will start failing. They might fail 5 years. Is it going to be an F, you buy another one, we don't sell the screen? Are they going to charge half the cost of the machine for an LCD display? Or is the LCD display straight up off the shelf? We won't know yet. I did send them an email. Hopefully they respond. Okay, so let's just go through. Let me slide these closer together maybe. What is here and what is not? Okay, this is the DDE-1C with the proper microcontroller. This is the DDE-1C with the microcontroller with less flash memory. So we have, put this. So I suggest everybody check your DDEs, make sure that their software is proper. They might be marked DDU on the front, and from my conversations, the ones that are marked DDU were bundles. That means they came with the tools. So if you spent the $1,800 with the desolder pump and the desolder gun and the handpiece. So let's go through this. So we have station, tools. Hopefully you can see that. This one is hard on the right. It's hard to video. Then we have peripherals. And peripherals is spelled out on this one. And it says peripher and a dot. I don't know if they meant to goof up on that, but it is there. Then we have graphics. And then, oh, we have profiles. This was an advertised feature on the DDE-1C. And it was not on the DDE-1B. Okay, so they removed the profiles. And this is one of the options that I wanted this unit for, is to be able to set profiles. Okay, so then it goes to graphics. That puts us in line with this one. And then it goes to counters. And then you can display your files that go to your logging on your SD card. I believe that's what that is for. And then it goes to counters, language, reset. Now we're on the same page here. So it's more than just languages that were stripped out of the firmware on this one to make room So then we got exit, exit. Then we go up to station. So now let's go into the station. Okay, it defaults us to name. If on this one with the proper microcontroller, you can enter a name. On this one, you cannot name your station. So if you've got multiple stations, you can't really tell them apart. So that is a biggie right there if you've got multiple stations. So temp units, the fonts are slightly different. Max temp, minimum temp, sound, date and time. This one here shows the actual date that is set. This one does not. Okay, quality soldering, I believe is what that is. Robot, pin, station reset, info, and we can go into there, and that brings us to our information. Back. Back. Okay, so tools. This lets you know what tools are being used with port 1, port 2. This one says port 1, no tool. This one just says port 1. I don't know why they'd be nice to let you know no tool there. But everything. Okay, you got your hibernation delay. This one seems to have a longer menu. Profiles, which is missing on this one here. You cannot set your profiles, which is an advertised feature. Tool reset, back. So, and then you got your peripher or peripherals, and that's basically the same thing for port 1, port 2. So you got your profiles on this one. We'll go into profiles. It's not on that one. So you could set all your information. So if you have a specific profile for doing a job, say if you're doing something that is aviation related and you need to follow a prescribed soldering plan, this helps. But it should be on this one too. It is an advertised feature on the DDE-1C. And then we go to graphics, which if you see that they're a little different. This one you just have very limited info. We'll go back to graphics. Port 1, port 2. So you can view, you can do your scale. You can auto, range, minimum power, grid. So you can set up your information on this one. Do you want to save graphics? No. And this scale is slightly different. Port 1, port 2. I like this better than that. It's hard to see. Ooh, that just really made it went dark. I hope you guys are getting all this. I'm not going to do this another time. Okay, so now we're going back to graphics. Okay, files, graphics and profiles, back. This don't have graphics or files. So you can't view your files, if you're actually saving your files or not. So then we go to counters. Counters. Plug-in hours, 1, total 1. This one gives you your port and hours. So we can go back. Language, English, Dutch, Chinese, French, Italian. It's got all those. We'll just keep it English. Then we got reset, exit. So there we have it. We are gone through all the menu. So this is 25 minutes. I seriously hope you guys enjoy this content. Please like and subscribe. The serial number on the affected unit is a 253630. I don't know why my camera went so dark. I think it's because the display. Let me turn that off here. There we go. I have to manually adjust that. So it was on auto, but oh well. So I'm kind of curious. I would like to take this apart further and see what microcontroller they used in this one versus this one, but I don't think I have enough time or patience to do that. So I hope this video turns out. We'll catch y'all later.